Yeah.
So, good evening, Jeans. It's Zaman from Bangladesh.
Okay, we're gonna start in 10 seconds. Hi, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the very first CLN virtual meeting. In our very first segment, we will have a 10 minutes open mic. This is an opportunity for all of us to see each other and to say good morning or good afternoon, and just to welcome one another. And then after that 10-minute session, we will then start with the network updates and so on, and I will introduce a little bit more. So welcome once again, everybody, and I look forward to seeing you here. All right, so...
Hey guys, nice seeing you again, Niels.
Hi, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Just a kind reminder, we have a program screen that you should be able to see in your grid view. There's a program screen. If you can click those 3 buttons that are in your screen and you pin the program screen. If you pin the program screen, then that will be your main screen for this event, where all the speeches will be happening. So please remember to pin your screen for this morning's session. So I'm going to be calling out a couple of you guys just to see how you are. Viraj, hi, good morning. How are you doing? Viraj, please unmute.
Hi, guys.
Doing great.
Hi, Niels. Good evening. All good.
All good. All right. Raj, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much. Blessed to
You're in Texas, right?
Good,
are you in Texas now?
Yes, sir. I'm in Texas, and we have a few of our folks also on the call when you get to them. So,
okay, great.
Looking forward to these great sessions.
Thank you. Thanks. Good morning, Christoph. How are you? Hi, Christoph. Can you please unmute yourself?
Yeah, this is Don. Hi, Niels. Nice seeing you again.
Nice
it's good to see you, all of you guys.
Great to see.
London is calling. London is calling. Enjoy the meeting.
Thank you. Hi, good morning, Sumit. How are you doing?
Hi, Niels. Doing good. Great to see everyone after such a long time. And I'm really looking forward to have a great conversation with all of you, as many as people as possible. And few of you are looking slimmer than before. Few of you are looking bloated. I hope the COVID changes are not being too drastic on all of us.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. So I will call on the people just to greet themselves this morning in this community open mic. Hi, Mira. How are you doing?
Hi, guys. Hi from Poland. It's very nice to see you after such a long time. And I wish we would be in a other place, together somewhere in Asia.
Yeah.
So hopefully next year.
I see David. David from the UK. How are you doing?
Yeah, hi Niels. I'm very well, thanks. I'm very well. Like Mira just said, I wish we were somewhere warmer and hotter. I mean, we're in another lockdown here, so it's still a bit of a struggle this year. I mean, I think I've been away. I've seen the sunshine once, so as in the hot weather anyway. I haven't been away at all, but purely because we can't be traveling anywhere. So we're hanging on in there. As Sumit said, looking a little bit slimmer.
Excellent. Hi, good morning, Vitek.
Oh.
How are things on your side? Hi, Vitek. How are things on your side?
Fantastic. Everything is great. We're doing well. So we're looking forward to some improvement as always. There's always room for improvement. Weather-wise, we're doing fine. We're not locked down yet, but we're prepared for this.
Yeah, great. Good to hear. Good morning. Good afternoon, Alvaro, from Mexico, right?
Yes, from Guadalajara, Mexico. The Silicon Valley of Mexico.
What time is it there now?
8 a.m.
8 a.m. Okay. Morning.
Thank you.
Burak. Good morning, Burak. How are you? Burak, please unmute yourself. Sorry, Burak, we can't hear you. If you could unmute yourself. Hi, Burak. We cannot hear you. Can you unmute yourself? Oh, it doesn't work. There you go. Burak, sorry, can you please repeat that? Oh, your microphone doesn't work. Sorry, Burak, we can't hear you, unfortunately. I'm going to move on. I'm going to say good morning to Jeroen. Jeroen, how are you? Can you unmute yourself? Jeroen, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, good morning. How are things in Holland?
Not too bad. We have a light lockdown at this moment. Working for 4 weeks from home now, but yeah, doing okay, not too bad.
All right, great. Good morning, Tony. How are things in Sri Lanka? Tony, please unmute yourself.
Pretty good. We've just got out of our lockdown and hoping like hell that things will get better. And yeah, business should pick up as soon as possible, the way things are going.
Yeah,
look forward to seeing all of you again in some sunny Asian country, probably Sri Lanka.
So one advice to give you all, if you haven't done that yet, you can actually modify your name. So it would be great if you can put your name and maybe your country where you're from. So I see some of you guys only have admin or Basel, or so it would be nice to see your names actually, so I can call on you properly. Who else do I see here? Chris Van Mullen. Good morning. Can you unmute yourself, please? Can you please unmute yourself? If you can do it, there you go.
Yes. Good afternoon, everybody, or good evening, good night, good morning. Calling from Rotterdam. Like Jeroen said, we are in a light lockdown and maybe next week in a strong lockdown. So let's fingers crossed together that we survive again. And I hope we will soon see everybody somewhere on this planet, maybe in a nice smashing bar. But anyway, until now, it's hard times.
Yeah, that's right. And then I see Ras from the UAE. Good morning. How are you doing?
Hi. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. We are doing quite well. I mean, this is the place, it's better than what I hear from others. No lockdown here. Everything is going smoothly, although there are cases, but things are going smoothly. Business is up there. We are okay, doing well.
So, Raz, is it correct that we can come and visit you in Dubai? You do COVID tests on arrival, and
yeah. There is a COVID test on arrival, and even test is negative or positive. They will let you know. They will let you out of the airport, but yes, the result will be announced maybe within 24 or 48 hours. And if there is a positive, then they ask you to quarantine, or else you are free to go.
Okay. Nice one.
We receive a couple of agents also here. Like recently Israel is the market open for Dubai, So we received some agents from Israel. So people are coming, visiting Dubai, and us also, Reliance also.
That's great. Good to hear. Good morning, Thomas. How are you doing in Singapore? Please unmute yourself.
Hi. Good morning, Niels. Good afternoon and good evening, everybody. Well, we're doing great. We have gotten out of the sort of lockdown since early July. We're quite fortunate. Small country, I guess it's much easier to manage, and well, we're still on social distancing, but the business is like as usual, except the regular mask and social distancing. Travel bubble has been established with several countries like Hong Kong and one or two other countries. But it's still technically not so convenient to travel, even though it's getting better. Yeah, I wish everybody can get better actually. Yeah. Anyway, it's a really good platform to meet everybody again after such a long time, and we miss you all.
That's true indeed. Absolutely miss seeing everybody. It's nice to see you here, but I would much prefer to see you all in real life. That's for sure. I hope we can do that sometime next year.
Absolutely.
And maybe we can have one more last. Basil Zua, can you please, good morning, introduce yourself and unmute yourself?
Good morning, everyone. Nice to see you and nice to see a lot of familiar faces. We are New Era Logistics in Toronto, Canada. We are a new member, and we were hoping to participate in the in-person meetings, but it's nice to see everyone online this morning.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. So one last reminder before I start off with the other program. Please pin the program screen. So in the grid view, if you see the program screen, you hover over it with the mouse. There's a little square on the top right corner. You click that and you can pin the video. So this will be your main program screen for this morning session. All right, that concludes the community open mic. I'm sorry if I haven't been able to say hi and good morning to everyone, but I do appreciate all of you being here this morning. I would like to move on to our next segment, which is the network updates. It's a short 5-minute presentation of the usual network updates that we do during the conference. It's a video that we have prepared for you, so enjoy. Thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. On behalf of the CLN team, I would like to welcome you to our very first CLN virtual meeting. This has truly been an exceptional year on all fronts. And if there's one thing that this year has shown us, then it's the realization that logistics and freight forwarding is one of the backbone industry for our society to thrive and survive. We are all immensely proud and thankful for your contribution to the global community. I would like to take this opportunity to thank you all for your tireless efforts in providing your essential services during these difficult times. Before I begin with the network updates for this year, I will guide you through the agenda for today and the following 2 days. Today's virtual meeting will last about an hour or so with the following program. After my presentation, we will go through the new member introductions, then the CLN intranet launch, a live Q&A session on the new normal, then we'll have a 5-minute break, followed by Mark Miller's keynote presentation on logistics trends after COVID, then a photo contest of the last conference, and then the 2019 after movie, and then followed by the closing cocktail at the end. The next 2 days will be dedicated face-to-face meetings for which you have already scheduled your meetings through the face-to-face app. Your actual meetings will be conducted over Skype. Moving on to our latest news and updates, global coverage, and new members. We have added a total of 321 member stations in over 70 countries, having added 75 members from 42 countries since the last conference, and I would like to warmly welcome our new members to the CLN family. We have unlocked 7 new territories this year and welcome members from Chile, Cyprus, Slovakia, Lebanon, Nepal, Myanmar, and the Maldives. Earlier this year, I had the opportunity to visit our friends in LA and New York, as well as in Hong Kong. COVID has certainly impacted our daily lives, but it will not stop us from reaching out to you and continuously looking for new ways to better connect the CLN community. We have kept ourselves busy this year by developing 2 networking applications, the intranet and the scheduler app. Please make sure you download the intranet app from the App Store and Play Store. We will get into more details with the intranet in our next session. We were keen to speed up our development of virtual connectivity solutions during this time, as a means for us to stay close with one another virtually and for our community to continue to grow and foster lasting bonds. Please ensure to add your partners on Skype for your seamless face-to-face meetings tomorrow. Thank you for your continued support to the CLN community. Stay safe and healthy during this time. Enjoy the next few days of face-to-face meetings, and I look forward to hopefully welcoming you soon in person. Thank you very much. All right, that was a brief introduction of our network updates. I'd like to move on to the next segment, which is the new member introductions. We have asked our new members to prepare short videos of themselves as a means to introduce them to the community. So we will be playing back a collage of videos from the new members.
Hello, my name is Anna DeCunha from New Era Global Logistics, Canada. New Era is delighted and proud to be part of the CLN network. Our team has over 100 years of combined logistics experience. Our core services include international freight forwarding, NVOCC consolidations, customs and clearances, warehousing and distribution, North American trucking including Mexico, and OOG projects. New Era, together with our CLN partners, will get through the pandemic better and stronger. Looking forward to our one-to-one virtual meetings and our next in-person CLN conference. Thanks from the New Era Global team, and bye for now.
DGX is part of Dependable Supply Chain Services, which started in Los Angeles with 1 truck in 1950, and since then, 70 years later, our single truck operation has grown into a respected LTL, truckload, and harbor drayage carrier. In addition to diversified trucking services, we thrive in warehousing, intermodal services, supply chain consulting, international and domestic ocean and air freight forwarding. Our DGX Air Freight division offers high-quality air services from 1 kilo to 10,000 kilos or more. Whether oversized, heavyweight, or hazardous, we easily expedite any desired need, such as airport to airport, door to airport, and door to door. We ensure the shipment's integrity is kept throughout its carriage. DGX Air is fully compliant with U.S. government regulations and is IATA licensed as an indirect air carrier. Our company mission is simple: to continue to earn a reputation for integrity, service, and diversity that is unmatched in our industry. We call it the dependable difference. Thank you.
Hi, I am Linda Valia Cordova. I represent Integral Chile. Our company is 29 years old. We have 4 offices, one in Santiago, the main office, also at the airport. We have warehouse in another place in Santiago and also in Antofagasta. Antofagasta is a very important city for the mining industry and for the renewable energy like wind power and solar plants. I invite you to have a good conversation in our next meeting. Bye.
Hello CLN members, it's very nice to meet you. This is Kirk from Telogis, South Korea. We Telogis is international freight forwarders. What Telogis can do, we're doing basically logistics business like air and ocean export and import. And then we can do DDU, DDP shipment, triangle shipment with issuing switchgear. Also we're doing bonded warehouse and then normal warehouse, custom clearance, and then inland trucking also. Next is our strength point. We can do e-commerce and then exhibition, and then ATA corner business, bonded business, OG shipment, TV shopping cargo, bulk carriers, car carriers, and then factory relocations. Retailers can do every logistic business. So I hope retailers and then CLN members can be very good partners. Hope to see you. Thank you very much.
My name is Brian Watson, President and CEO of RFI Global Logistics. Established in 1995, we provide full-service freight and logistics solutions to meet the individual business needs of our global clients and partners. Headquartered in North America, we have full coverage through all points in Canada and the United States, and are supported globally by both direct service hubs and network affiliates. With a dedication to customer service and a management team with global experience, our services go beyond traditional freight forwarding to encompass fully integrated supply chain solutions and project cargo management. Our core services include ocean freight, air freight, ground transport, project cargo logistics, customs clearance, and multimodal cargo management. Our dedication to providing quality service and reliability has positioned RFI Global as a trusted and resourceful partner that can be counted on to get the job done. We're pleased to be part of the CLN network and look forward to building strong partnerships and assisting fellow CLN members with their requirements in Canada and North America. Thank you.
Hey guys, I hope you are well, safe and healthy. My name is Mahesh Singh and I am from Transcoral Shipping. We are very happy to join CLN and we are getting a really good support from the network members. We specialize in break bulk, project cargo and heavy lift cargo movement all around the world by chartering modern multi-purpose heavy lift vessels. Over the past years, we have moved several heavy lift and break bulk cargo for oil and gas industry, renewable and sustainable energy sector, and for infrastructure development as well. We have offices in Dubai, Sharjah and Mumbai. We started in 2011 and next year we will be celebrating our 10th anniversary. We hope you will continue to support us. Thank you.
Hello everyone, here Javier Novo from Transit Larisco, new CLN member since March. At first, thank you very much for joining us to the group and also for making this virtual conference possible. For our new collaborator and friends, what can I say to you in these difficult moments? Hope you, your family, your team, everyone is safe, and hope we can know each other face to face very, very soon. Well, about Transit Larisco is a Spanish freight forwarder established in 2005, composed by 46 employees. Our head office is in Madrid, in a strategic point. We are close to the airport and we are close to the Madrid terminal port too. We have around 10,000 meters of warehouse where we can handle any kind of logistics, picking, purchase order preparation, loadings, etc. We have also offices in Canary Island and Sevilla. And of course, we can handle any kind of shipment in Barcelona, Valencia, Bilbao, or Algeciras. Our strengths are air freight, ocean freight, project cargo, any kind of logistic or transport. We are data members and we work with every shipping line. Our team is always trying to improve the quality of our services, and we hope we can learn of all of your feedback. So we keep at your disposal for any further information or whatever you could need from us. So see you very, very soon. Bye bye.
Thank you very much and a warm welcome to the new members to the CLN community. On to our next segment, I would like to introduce our new CLN intranet app, which I have already mentioned in our video before. We've prepared a short video to introduce this application to you.
What is the intranet all about? Previously, all our network information was decentralized.
Only one person per company had access to the agency list. The messaging system was a mix of different kinds of content. We didn't have a social wall for all of us to share stories with fellow members worldwide. This is how we came to the idea to combine all our network information into one app that members can use 24/7 from breakfast to bedtime. Now the agency list is in your pocket so that you can message agents in real time anywhere. And when you start shipments, follow your partners to track any changes in their profile or payment status. The app also has a social wall where you get various updates from the network and from partners from all over the world. Whenever you need an agent recommendation, we now have an exclusive section where you can post an agent request for partners to share personal contacts right here. With unlimited users per company, the entire company should be part of this app. From customer service, sales, operations to business development.
Because a strong network is a connected community at all times.
We will be launching the CLN intranet next week, November 16. It will be ready for download in the app stores and in the Google Play Store next week. We will also be emailing you your login details in the course of this week to all the primary users. And then once you have access to the app, you can add as many colleagues from your office to be part of this CLN app going forward. So please look out, November 16. It's an important tool for all of us to stay in touch in a much more convenient way. All right, I would like to move on to our next section, which is a live Q&A. We have basically a panel of 3 speakers. So if we could move on to the next segment, please. I would like to introduce the panel speakers that we have for today. We have Thomas Sim from Top Ocean in Singapore. We have Sumit from Real Logistics in India. And we have Raj from Perimeter Global Logistics in the US. I will be asking you a set of 3 questions. Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you once again for participating in this relatively quick panel discussion. I think it would be interesting for us to hear what you have to say, how COVID has impacted your business. Maybe we can start with you, Sumit. How has COVID-19 impacted your business, the positive as well as the negative impacts to your business in your country? What can you tell us about that?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. COVID, for a change, has really shaken the entire world. No words or no second questions on that. But the biggest positive to begin with, I would say that everyone in the world have understood the importance of logistics and how it really helps, not only for business, but even for your day-to-day survival. When it comes to the challenges which in India we really faced was, India is a massive country with so many people, with logistics taking place at every corner of the country, at every corner of the street. Everything came to a standstill. The operations were challenged. The way a person lives, a way a person works, the entire systems was challenged dramatically for the operations which were supposed to be done during the COVID times as well. In terms of logistics, yes, the challenge were raised from the shipping line, from the airlines with respect to the capacities, from the perspective of the shippers or the importers who were having very limited resources to communicate, to practically manage their business. And same applies to us. But at the same time, we must appreciate that the Indian government, our own team, everyone stood up and they were allowed to work with certain guidelines to ensure that the essential services were being supported by the logistic service providers. So that was a very good part, that really people stood up to the occasion and they could manage things better. With respect to a couple of more negatives and positives, I would say, with respect to negatives, for sure, yes, the volumes dropped down. They are slowly picking up, but some old payments were also, getting difficult to really manage nowadays. However, on the positive front, we did, the revenues are better than before. The margins, the working capital has been managed much better now. And the overall industry is really looking positive ahead. and we have been specialized in chemicals and pharmaceuticals, which really helped us to perform even better during the lockdown period. So overall, no complaints from the business perspective, but yes, we look forward to have a better future for everyone.
Thank you, Sumit. If I can move on to Raj, how has COVID impacted your business, the good side and bad sides?
Well, I'm sure, like the rest of us here, the first 2 months of April and May, I'm sure we all want to forget and wipe out from our memories. There were obviously lockdowns, shutdowns, and while in the US, I'm sure same worldwide, transportation was deemed to be one of the essential services, but our customers were shut down. So as you can imagine, containers were arriving, piling up, factories were closed, became a real challenge. And so suffice to say, April and May were our worst months. Our business was down about 10 to 15%. And that was because we were fortunate to have one of our customers have a large project that really saved the day for us. Otherwise, our decline could have even have been 20%. By June, we started seeing the business pick up. And I'm guessing the rest of the world felt the same way. For PGL specifically, there are 4 sectors that we're pretty strong in. There are a couple others. One is hospitality, hotels. We all know what's happened to the hotels. They've been shut. Aviation is a big sector for us. We all know the planes have been grounded, and even now there's barely 25% of flights up in the air. So that hurt us. And the biggest, another vertical we are in is exhibition trade shows. We all know that those have been closed. That's why we're all here on a virtual. There's our exhibition trade show being held right now virtually. And of course, retail wholesale. PGL has a few retail wholesale clients. Fortunately for us, we also have a few high-tech clients. That really, really saved the day. I just mentioned, for instance, Chicago, which is one of our big offices. Chicago did not feel COVID. Chicago actually, in the months of April, May, while we were down, they were up. The whole country was down. Chicago was doing more volumes, so that kind of helped us a little bit. And last but not the least, we have a couple of customers who have had factories in China. And it's amazing how everybody's out-innovated themselves. They have become big players in PPE. In other words, these are companies who are not in PPE, but because of the deep relationships with China factories going back 3 decades, they, through the connection, were able to pick up. And we have 2 very strong customers now. They're doing more business than ever. And we are, of course, air freighting, as you can imagine. So that helped us. And going into Q3, we were very pleasantly surprised. Our Q3 was a record ever, which is hard for people to fathom, but I must give credit to PGL becoming part of this United States test kitting process. So one of our customers is leading the COVID-19 test movement, and they're one of the fastest growing companies. PGL is very blessed to have them as a customer. So it was both the overall pent-up demand as well as these test kits. So that's us in a nutshell.
Thank you. And Thomas, how has that affected? How has COVID impacted your business in Singapore?
Thank you, Niels. Once again, good evening, good morning, and good afternoon, everybody. Well, I think Raj and Sumit have said it all. It is an unprecedented disruptions, and this disruptions has not ended yet. In many cases, in many economies, we are facing similar phenomena. The phenomena where there are job losses, of course, and it sharpens actually in a lot of companies, especially the small and medium-sized enterprise, to look carefully, not just on physical flow of products, but also on the financial flow, as well as the information flow. Now, so there's a lot of changes, there's a lot of disruptions, and companies who have moved faster than the other in terms of transformation actually survive better. And we are no different. It forces us to look at the cash flow. I think let's be real, for small and medium size, cash flow is one of the main challenges that companies look at. And it also forces us to transform the way we do businesses. We now implement more technology features, and we are kind of lucky to take advantage of situations like transforming our business to do more on domestic moving, as well as last mile fulfillment in terms of e-commerce delivery, the first and the last mile, especially for the food, especially for the pharmaceutical products moving into the different stores and getting it distributed to the different touch points. So of course, now the big challenge is what kind of recoveries we're looking at. There has been a lot of efforts. We're quite fortunate in the case of the Singapore situation. We have a lot of initiative, augmented by the government. So companies are getting a lot of assistance to ensure that they transform gradually and quickly as well sometimes, especially in critical industry verticals. So we move along and try to be innovative to change the way we do businesses. Yeah, so that's the way we try to counter it. And we are quite fortunate in the sense that we have moved into new opportunities, the opportunities to be engaged more on the last mile. And this helped us pretty much in that sense.
Thank you, Thomas. That's interesting insight. If I could move on to the second question now, what do you think are the changes, the lasting changes that you believe will stay on after the pandemic? Maybe if you could continue, Thomas, what do you think will be a lasting change that this pandemic has caused and will stay on in our business?
Well, first of all, something for sure is that social distancing will remain, of course. And companies will have to look at new ways to do business. There's no chance that we're going to go back pre-COVID situation. And businesses will definitely have to look at things like, for example, into more electronic, automated way of doing business. Like our economy is shortage of manpower, and automation, employing AI, employing sensors, IoT, big data. This is something which is already happening. And whether there are economies who says that the recovery will come in like a K-shaped recovery situation, where you have very unbalanced kind of focus. Certain economy will look at more moving faster than the other. Now, the reality is that today we really see a lot of capacity issues because the carriers are making changes. The rates are going like you've never seen before. It's unbelievable. And even if you pay the kind of rates, you don't get the space, actually. I think many of us face this similar situation. So what's going to happen? Well, I think a lot of collaboration is necessary. That's why the network like this, CLN, I think the collaboration will become more intense because we got to work together. Yeah, no man's an island. So I see moving forward, more and more intense collaboration will be one of the more important things. And the knowledge base as well as evidence based kind of business will thrive better than the other.
All right. Raj, what are your observations? What do you think will have a lasting impact after this pandemic?
So as all of you may know, retail is a big sector in the United States. About 65 to 70% of our economy, the entire economy in the US, is retail. And retail has been seeing challenging signs going back probably about 8 to 10 years ago. One of our great customers, very sadly, a company called Pier 1 Imports, filed bankruptcy first. It's called Protection, and then the COVID-19 happened. So this pandemic, I think, was like they say, the proverbial straw that broke the camel's back. Because now most of us are confined in our respective homes, at least we were for the months of April and May. So now what's happened in the US, we're seeing this. Every one of us here in the US can experience this. We see at least 1 or 2 packages outside our homes daily. We're ordering everything through the web. So that has changed. The only survivors that are there is the big box, as we call them here, the Walmarts, the Costco's of the world. Those actually, their business has exploded. So the larger stores are doing much better. They're surviving, their market cap has grown, their revenues have grown. But the smaller guys, the guys who have 2,000 square feet, 4,000 square feet, it's very sad to see they're all dying on the vine. Very, very sad. So that's a big shift. We are going to go completely into ordering stuff over the web. So I see great opportunities ahead. All of us here on this call are into what is called logistics. Logistics really is sort of the thing. ultimately we bring the goods to whoever the customer is, wherever the customer is, regardless. As Thomas said, the world is becoming smaller. There's no such thing as man's lands. It's just, we're all one big company, or one big sort of country. Now, the challenges I see here is area of technology. If you think about it, we in logistics are the only business that is still in the 19th century. And you ask how? Well, we still are stuck on the PODs. We still need some documentation. We still need some original BOLs. We're not able to move as fast as many of the other tech companies. So we all as a group will have to, our trade associations will have to get to a point when if I can sign a contract virtually, why can't I not have? So a lot of things have to change. Each of us, as Thomas and Sumit touched upon, cash flow is going to be the king. I'll just share this on behalf of PGL. What happened to us here is when this pandemic happened, this is me personally, and my team knows what happened. I went in a total mayhem thinking, what if? The what if was a very bad scene. What if this continues? What if we PGL have start cutting employees off? That is not acceptable to PGL. So we went out, and I think if we all do that, we started pushing our customers. And by the way, folks, I'm proud to say this, very unusual to share this. Our aging has never looked better. Repeat, never looked better. I think we all realized, and our customers understood when we called them, no, sir, paying in 60 days, not an option. Paying in 90, not an option. You got to pay in 45, pay in 50, pay in maybe 55, but not beyond 60. So in a way, I think we all have worked together, our customers, and they're pushing their customers. Ultimately, if we all paid each other in 30 days, none of us would need an accounts receivable team. Don't get me wrong, I don't remove jobs, but that's sort of our experience. And last but not the least, those of us who are in logistics will have to basically understand that we have our customers. So e-com, for instance, for PGL, e-commerce has exploded. We are very blessed and fortunate that we started e-com about 5 years ago, and our customers are, because of our vast footprint in US, is helping us some. So I see great opportunities ahead for us in logistics personally.
Thank you. Sumit, how about you? What are the changes that you believe will stay on after the pandemic?
As Thomas and Raj has already put forward a lot of pointers in that, one was, yes, a usage of more of technology in day-to-day work, which is supposed to come even more. And I would just take a cue from Mr. Raj Shubhani's wording that, yes, logistic for certain reason, even though, yes, everything is done on the computers and everything, but still, we are still lagging behind a lot when it comes to the seamlessness of working. There are so many things that we still depend upon on physical and human interventions that needs to improve, and which is expected to improve globally in the coming years. Apart from that, yes, financial awareness, the way people are supposed to be healthy, and they need to do their health checkups every year. But at the same time, the companies have across the globe understood that a financial health checkup is also necessary, and people are going to be more aware about how they want to deal with and which kind of customers they need to understand. So even customer segmentation for every company will become a point to think about, that which kind of customers they need to add to their portfolio, and which are short-term customers and which are long-term customers, which are going to really give you an edge in the long run. So that is something, these pointers are going to add up when a person is going to really think about his long-term business. At the same time, e-commerce, no doubt, has been the biggest winner in this pandemic, and it looks, maybe down the line of 5 to 10 years is going to explode even more, because people are not going to move out so easily nowadays, and things are going to get ordered online, as many things as possible. So that is one segment. Another segment is that, yes, pharmaceutical industry, which was anyways doing good, but their importance, the compliances, the need for making sure that you have the right team, the right infrastructure in hand, is going to increase further. So that segment furthermore is going to be added when it comes to the global logistics perspective. And just last point, which I would like to add, as Mr. Thomas has also mentioned, a lot of new markets are going to open up. The way China was shutting down themselves in the beginning, it is the raw material factory for the entire globe. There's no doubt about it. a lot of people across the globe, a lot of manufacturing across the globe, including in India, they were waiting for raw materials to come in so that they can do their manufacturing, they can supply domestically or they can export. So people across the globe are now being forced to look out for alternate options for resources, for raw materials. At the same time, they are going to start developing and identifying new markets for their businesses. So we can expect some new trade lanes to pick up. We can expect some new markets to really, come out of nowhere and become something that people will be interested to really invest in. So these are some changes which is on the I would say on the mindset as well as on the physical day-to-day business, which are going to remain for the longer period as of now.
Thank you, Sumit. Okay, now moving on to our last question. I would like you to please take out your crystal ball. When do you all believe that the economy in your country will recover back to pre-pandemic times? If you could give me sort of your future predictions. Thomas, how do you see it going forward from here?
Well, it is never easy to see the crystal ball. I think if we look at the IMF projection, they are looking at 2021, probably the second half. The prediction for global economy is 5.4% by end of 2021. But for advanced economy, they're looking at 4.8, and for emerging markets, developing economy, also thereabout. But honestly speaking, these are only forecasts. In our local economy, because Singapore is so dependent on the hinterlands of ASEAN as well as the rest of the world. And, if the regional economy or the global economy does not recover, we do not think that we can actually recover fast enough. So, well, the industry, as I involve in the local, regional, and international bodies like FIATA, myself in the executive body as a senior vice president, we have a lot of discussion, and the sentiments is that it will not see very bright future. Although we want to be optimistic, but I think the growth will be pretty difficult, at least for the next 6 to 12 months. Yeah, this is a general sentiment actually. But of course, we always hope for the best and we work together to make it better. But the reality is that it's not going to be a very fast recovery. But some sectors will move faster. That's why I mentioned the K-shaped economy as shared by many economies. Some sectors like pharmaceutical, e-commerce, and some of the perishables, these will obviously move faster. And the other may be eliminated even, some industry. So actually, it is difficult times. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Sumit, maybe you can give us your predictions.
To predict anything right now is going to be, very difficult for anyone, no doubt about it. But if you talk about India as a country, there are a lot of positives in the country itself. The reason being, we are a huge population, so the demand is generated within the country as well. So that is one positive about it. Second positive is that the government has been pushing for Make in India for a very long time. So a lot of manufacturing, a lot of positive, sector developments are going to take place within the next couple of years furthermore. If you talk about the real value of the GDP, yes, we might be able to touch that maybe down the line of 6 months or 1 year that we were doing pre-COVID. But a big change with respect to the job shifts to new business or to new working environments is going to take place. So a settling down of the economy will still take around a couple of years, no doubt. But if you talk about the just numbers, the numbers should start picking up in the next 6 months to 1 year. And the biggest industry, as everyone says, that, pharmaceutical, yes, for that, India is manufacturing hub now. So that is in positive. And surprisingly, automotive industry, they had the best sales year in the month of October in India. So if the automotive industry is showing such a good sign, it is in general going to give a good notion across the globe and across India. But it's just that when it comes to individual people, the way they have been working, the industries they have been working, a lot of reshuffle is going to take place, which will settle down in another year's time or so. So a year is something that we need to look at.
Thank you very much. And Raj, we lost you here on the screen. Raj, if we could.
I'm here. Maybe
yes.
Not on the main screen. So in US, similar to comments echoed by the group here, our government, our Trump administration and his group really moved very, very swiftly. I'm sure it's a role model for the rest of the world. It was very early on by April, by the end of March, CARES Act was finalized. By April, I forget the exact date, by April 5th or 10th, I know PGL received its CARES funding by the second or third week of April, I forget the exact date. So United States moved swiftly thanks to our current administration. So I got to give it to our government. As far as the returning to pre-pandemic, my prediction is probably maybe slightly more aggressive than the others. I expect by Q2 or earlier. And that is along the lines of what Sumit touched upon. We had a record, auto industry had a record October as well here. In fact, the factories are unable to keep up with the demand, and the dealers are seeing the inventories drop to record levels. So in other words, they don't have enough inventory to sell, i.e. cars. So United States will see sort of a shift where our restaurant industry, our retail sector is being affected very, very sadly, very irreparably. Aviation is hurting, but again, we also had our CARES Act also had a portion for the aviation industry, which helped the aviation industry, and all the jobs were maintained through September 30. Sure enough, come October 1, when the funding ran out, a lot of our airlines started doing layoffs. And I think we're seeing that globally. I mean, every major airline, whether it's Lufthansa, whether it is, you just go down the whole list. These are tough jobs for aviation. So outside of a few groups that might hurt, and I have a feeling that they will find a way to, obviously all the airlines now are, instead of putting people on board, we are seeing them put cargo very well. So I expect the pre-pandemic to return hopefully on or before end of next quarter, as in end of Q1 is what I meant.
All right. Oh, thank you very much. This actually also concludes our Q&A. Thank you for all your contributions. Thank you for the panel speakers in joining us this morning. I would like to now proceed to draw your attention to my wallpaper. As you can see, I have here a customized virtual background. We can actually create these virtual backgrounds for you, which can come in quite handy when you have a Zoom meeting with your clients, with your partners, and you might not be in the right environment, or you want to promote your company. So if you need some help in designing a virtual background, which includes your company logo, your company name, country flag, and so on, and your various affiliations like here CLN Network, we would be happy to create that for you. Let us know, and our team can certainly come up with a customized wallpaper for your company and for your branding and for your future Zoom or other virtual meetings. So we will now go on to a 5-minute break, but please don't turn off your Zoom meeting. We still have about half, actually a bit less than half of a exciting program lined up for you. After the break, we will have Mark Miller, who many of you know, have a presentation, a keynote presentation on logistics after COVID. We will then proceed to the photo contest. For today, we will also be having a poll or sort of a questionnaire, and then the after movie of the last conference from last year, and then the closing cocktail after this. So please stay tuned. We have a 5-minute break now, and I'll see you after the break. Thank you very much. All right, welcome back, everybody. We will now proceed to our next segment, which is a keynote presentation by Mark Miller. Mark Miller usually does our keynote presentations for our conferences. He's an expert in logistics with many years in working in our industry as well. I would like to welcome Mark Miller for his keynote presentation. It's a 10-minute keynote presentation on COVID-19 impact on the global supply chain systems. Please enjoy.
Hello, this is Mark Miller, author of the book Global Supply Chain Ecosystems. I am pleased to be able to share with you my thoughts and insights about the COVID-19 impact on global supply chains. We are now on the cusp of a thrilling new era for supply chain. This coronavirus crisis has vividly exposed the profound interdependencies in today's global supply chain ecosystems and powerfully demonstrated the intrinsic risks in our complex, connected, volatile world. In this presentation, I will explore the supply chain ramifications of COVID-19, which is already proving to be a super accelerator of some pre-existing megatrends, including globalization shifts, digital disruption, and the e-commerce frenzy. The next normal will be characterized by uncertainty. But what is certain is that this virus will have significant supply chain implications, both over the short-term 12 to 18 months, but also over the subsequent 2 to 3 year medium term, such that supply chain 2025 will be substantially different on multiple dimensions. The initial impact of COVID-19 was supply-side gridlock, as mainland China went into a coronavirus-induced hibernation just after the extended Chinese New Year holidays. This resulted in global shortages of components and products, making it powerfully and painfully apparent just how global supply chains have become inextricably dependent upon China. COVID then embarked on its own globalization journey, spreading fear and uncertainty around the world as healthcare systems became overwhelmed. Widespread lockdowns ensued, with shops and businesses closing. High street retail came to an abrupt halt, triggering the most dramatic collapse in demand. The exceptions, of course, being medical supplies and equipment, which experienced an unprecedented surge in demand. As consumers became unable or unwilling to venture out of their homes, shopping for groceries and household essentials moved online en masse, turbocharging the e-commerce frenzy and generating unparalleled volume growth in small packages for home deliveries. Then, just as China started to reopen their economy and factories were getting back to work, production orders were getting cancelled due to excess inventories and lack of demand. And so global supply chains ground to a halt. As these extraordinary supply chain shocks reverberated around the world, companies are being forced to urgently reevaluate their sourcing strategies, business models, and distribution channels. This inevitably resurfaced discussions about the relocation of offshored production. Let's recap. Nearshoring is the relocation of production activities closer to the market where the products are going to be consumed. Onshoring, also known as reshoring, is one step further, whereby production is moved back into the country where the goods are going to be consumed. These are not new topics. Recall other huge supply chain shocks such as the Fukushima earthquake, the Iceland volcano, and the Thailand floods. They all triggered animated nearshoring discussions championing the need to relocate production closer to the final consumption markets. However, what typically happens is that enthusiasm for change tends to dissipate as things soon get back to normal and companies realize the actual enormity of truly reconfiguring their supply chains. But this time is different. This time, I believe, nearshoring will become more than just talk for a number of reasons. Firstly, this COVID crisis is much more severe in impact and global in reach than previous supply chain shocks. The consequences from a supply chain perspective will be much deeper, much wider, much more long-lasting. Secondly, this COVID predicament is intertwined with massive geopolitical tensions between the world's superpowers. Tensions which have already triggered some companies to relocate the production of their US-destined products in order to avoid the US tariffs on China-sourced imports. And thirdly, with the continuing growth in emerging markets and the increase in intra-regional trade, globalization had already become somewhat stalled. And so with the increasing polarization between East and West, coupled with lingering frustrations about differences in business practices, I believe it's inevitable there will be some decoupling, resulting in changes to global trade flows. And so COVID becomes the catalyst that actually stimulates companies into taking real action on reshoring and nearshoring initiatives, which will reduce dependencies and diversify risks, but will obviously result in shorter supply chains. However, relocating your supply chain is much easier said than done. This is not for the faint-hearted. Today's supply chains have been built up and fine-tuned and developed over a number of years, if not decades. They cannot just be readily untangled, packed up and moved elsewhere. This is a serious undertaking, whether nearshoring or reshoring. It's a project that's likely to be measured in years, not weeks or months. And whilst COVID is a catalyst for companies to take action, COVID-related restrictions will inhibit the process of reconfiguring the supply chain by nature of travel-related limitations and, of course, the restriction on in-person exchanges. Accelerating the process, on the other hand, will be government incentives. The United States, with much fanfare, has announced grants and subsidies and tax relief for American companies that relocate their manufacturing back into the United States of America and create American jobs. It's not just America. Canada, Korea, some European countries have all announced initiatives to encourage the relocation of manufacturing. Japan, for example, has allocated a $2.2 billion fund to help Japanese companies repatriate their manufacturing back into Japan and create local jobs. Now, of course, in these first world economies, there's a concern about the high cost of labor. And this is where I believe we'll see automation come readily into play. Robotics and automation are substantially lower cost now than they were 20 or 30 years ago when we started the offshoring globalization journey. And readily available, economically viable automation solutions will ease the process of reshoring manufacturing back into developed market economies. Now, for nearshoring, the key beneficiaries need to obviously be in close proximity to the final consumption market and have lower cost platforms. So the key contenders for the United States market, for example, would be Mexico as the leading contender, leveraging the North American Free Trade Agreement as well. For European markets, Eastern European countries such as Poland, Turkey, Hungary would be leading contenders as nearshoring platforms. So nearshoring will reduce reliance on Asia in general and China specifically, and we'll see the supply chains being typically much more regionally focused and therefore shorter. They could be configured as made in Latin America for America or made in Eastern Europe for Europe. However, this will in no way result in a mass exodus of manufacturing outside of China, but we will see some diversification across the Asia region. Several reasons for this. First of all, we are now firmly in the Asian century. 1/3 of global GDP is in Asia. We are home to 1.8 billion people in the consuming class. And by the year 2030, Asia will represent 2/3 of the world's middle class. So made in Asia for Asia will remain a very viable supply chain strategy for generations to come. And this will enable companies to capitalize on the huge potential across Asia's emerging economies. At the same time, more and more companies will also be diligently exploring their China Plus options, looking for additional locations around Asia for sourcing and production of products and components where there is abundant labor that is lower cost than the China labor has become. Different sectors will have a different mobility, if you like. Garments, footwear, sports goods, furniture, their supply chains are relatively mobile or movable, certainly compared to much more complex products and supply chains like high-tech electronics, household goods, and automobiles. So the leading contenders around the Asia region, they vary by industry segment. But Vietnam, Indonesia, India, Bangladesh, Cambodia, these are all contenders for post-pandemic divergence of production activities that can leverage their low-cost labor markets. However, none of these alternatives can match the huge extent of China's resources. China remains the clear leader in both scale and scope, leveraging its massive infrastructure investments over the last 20 years and its huge workforce. And for that very reason, many supply chains will remain in China, or at least remain China-centric. And that includes all the multinational companies who are selling into China's enormous domestic market, whether they are targeting the consumer or the industrial segments. Such companies will retain within China all their manufacturing, sourcing, and assembly activities for goods destined for sale in the domestic China market in the supply chain strategy that is now known as in China for China. So in summary, the consequences of COVID-19 will result in a step change for global trade as we know it, spelling the end of 30 years of globalization. Post-pandemic, the next normal will see some radical reconfiguration of global supply chains, adopting a much more regional and localized approach. Evolving through to year 2025, we can expect to see widespread deployment of shorter supply chains that increase control, increase responsiveness, and increase resilience, whilst also reducing lead times, reducing transport costs, and reducing emissions, and helping to mitigate risk. And so in times of such great uncertainty, it is best to be prepared. Companies should be planning for the worst, hoping for the best, and always expect the unexpected.
All right. Thank you very much, Mark Miller, for your insightful presentation. I would like to shift the tone and the mood a little bit to something more fun and animated. We are having a little photo contest. We have asked you to submit your best photo from the last conference. So we created a collage. I think we have received a total of 9 photos, if I'm not mistaken. Each of the photos are numbered, And if you could pick your favorite photo from that slideshow, we will be playing back the slideshow 2 times. And after the slideshow is over, there will be a pop-up window from Zoom, and you can just cast your vote on the most favorite and fun photo that you see. The winner will be receiving a free Sunset Cocktail sponsorship for our next event. All right, so let's take a look at. I haven't seen the photos myself, so I'm looking forward to see the photos. I hope they're all fun. All right, can we play back one more time? Yep. Okay, great. If you could pick your favorite photo, and here's the pop-up now, and vote for your favorite photo. I will vote. Should I vote as well? Yes, I will vote as well. And as we are tallying the votes up, we will be showing you the CLN after movie from the last conference, and we will announce the winner of the photo contest after the video. So many great memories. I cannot believe that this is a year ago, or not even a year ago, and the world has been really turned upside down. I really can't wait until this is all over and we can go back to our pre-COVID times where we can just enjoy ourselves together like that. Unbelievable. Okay, so we have our tally. Who is the winner? Do we have a winner? Do we have a winner? There you go. So who submitted that photo actually? AJ? Do you know who submitted that photo?
The winner is from T from Global Maritime Services Co. Limited, Vietnam.
Global Maritime Services, congratulations. You have won yourself a free Sunset Cocktail sponsorship package for the next CLN event, which we don't know yet exactly when it will be. We did schedule it for March, but I do not think it's realistic that it will go through. Obviously, we will be making announcements about this soon, but very realistically, we do not believe that March will happen, but we are going to make alternative arrangements, and we will, of course, let you know about that in due course. So onwards to our closing cocktail. This basically concludes the CLN Virtual session here with us. I thank you all very much for joining us today. We will have more meetings like that in the future, more regular ones. We're thinking of at least having virtual meetings 2 or 3 times a year to complement our actual conferences. I think it's a great way to get together in this way. And I will be still sticking around for 5 to 10 minutes. And
Niels,
yes.
Can I say something?
Yes, Ram.
I thought if it's okay with all of you, I know we're about 140 people left here. The COVID-19 has affected what I believe is about 1% of the world's family. Our global population is about 6 to 7 billion, and about 12.5 million people have been affected. And you figure an average family of 4, that's 50 million families have been affected. The loss of lives is untold. 1.25 million people have passed away. So if I may, if everybody's okay with this, we'll just have like a 15-second silence. But what we'll do is, obviously I'm from India. The word Om, when you call it out, has such power that all the families that are affected by it, through the power of universe, I believe we can reach them. So I'll do a small short Om and the rest of you can follow. And the longer you can hold your breath, the better. And if we can unmute everybody unmute yourself. So I'll just give a sample of Om. I'll go like, close your eyes. Om. That's a short version. Now we start, all of us together, and keep going that and end with the M as long as you can. Let's do it together. Everybody unmute, please. This will send powers to the God, and all of our people who are affected, I think will get benefit. Let's do it now, starting now.
All right.
Beautiful. Thank you, Hari. And we have Diwali coming up in 3-4 days. So a lot of India and other parts of the world celebrate it. So Neil, since we can't, you said cocktail hour, why don't we just have a cocktail hour? Everybody move your chairs. And if I can have your IT boys supply some nice dancing song, let's all start dancing virtually. Let's do it now. Okay, I'll start.
David, do we have any music we can cue up here? Also, I would like to draw your attention that we will have a short survey after this. If you could please help us. It's very quick. It will only take 15 seconds to complete that survey. We would appreciate your feedback, of course.
Beautiful. Thanks, Niels. Thanks to everyone. Have a nice day.
Let's start the music. Yeah. All right. Everybody.
Oh, yeah, that's perfect.
Come on, everybody. Let's dance. Let's boogie.
All right.
We're dancing. We're supposed to be doing it.
To Jerusalem. Jerusalem, man.
Who told you?
Cheers, everybody.
They're cooling.
All right.
I hardly wait to meet everyone in person.
Yes, sure.
So much fun over video. I can't imagine in person what it's going to be like.
It's a bunch of crazy people. You will really enjoy it.
I can hardly wait.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure to be seeing all of you here. We've been so used to seeing the same people. We've been fortunate to be with our families, of course, and with our loved ones. It's fantastic to see people outside our circle, friends that we haven't seen in many months. So I'm absolutely delighted to be able to see you all here on Zoom. And it's my first real Zoom session that I'm hosting. I haven't done this before, so it turned out to be much more interesting and fulfilling than I had anticipated. So
You did a great job, Niels.
Joining me here.
Great job, Niels.
Yes, great job.
Great job you did.
All tribute to CLN team.
Yeah, we love the idea of repeating this.
It's definitely the team that is working tirelessly behind us. Of course, in the production and in the marketing, they've all been working their butts off the last few weeks to put this show together, from videos to editing to. So it's really a lot of work involved in holding a 1 hour session. So we're very grateful to everyone. So thank you all, CLN, CLN marketing team and IT team and everybody there. So yeah, thank you very much, guys.
Thanks, everybody, and see you all later.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone.
Great job.
Hopefully soon.
Thank you,
Cheers.
Some leg, guys. Break some leg.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Bye.
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 Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Tony.
Good night. Good night.
Good morning, good night, good evening.
Good morning,
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Yeah, Steph.
Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Raj. Had a
Thank you,
good time.
Bye. Nice.
Thank you, Raj. Thank you.
We gotta make it fun. We gotta make it fun. See you, Raj. Bye-bye.
I know wherever you are going to make it fun.
All right. Thank you. Bye.
Good night,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Bye.
All
Good night,
right.
all. Good night,
See you.
good morning, good afternoon. Goodbye.
Good night. Bye. We already
Good night, bye.
midnight in Jakarta.
Okay, thank you, everyone. See you
Thank you.
tomorrow.
Ciao.
Right. God bless you all.
God bless you all.
Safe and stay healthy, everybody. Yes, that's the most important.
Yeah, that's,